so yesterday, Heather really led us through our interim assessment, and through that we saw that we need to reteach 3.2, which we all kind of agreed that the language is difficult, and therefore our kids are having a hard time to understand central message. So I'm really excited that we have a plan for our reteach session, but we need to think about how we're going to push our students who have already mastered that. Mm-hmm. Did anybody think of some ideas or come up with anything that we can start writing down?
Mm-hmm. I talked to some of my colleagues in second grade, and they told me that they have spent a lot of time working on theme as related to character traits. So like respect. They have looked at lots of different fables and folk tales about characters who've showed respect or friendship, those kinds of things. So they are coming to third grade with a lot of background knowledge in that area.
Awesome. That's great that that's the reason that they've mastered it. Mm-hmm. And really we've pushed them to the enrichment piece.
Well, just to add on to Michelle, when I taught fourth grade previously, I know that this standard kind of transforms to be about theme. Okay. And that's kind of a big step, the difference between that central message and the theme, because theme is sort of a one-word encapsulation, mm-hmm. Which can be tricky for kids. So maybe supporting our kids and transitioning from, okay, now that you have the central message, can you move that into more of the language of a theme to support them in transitioning to fourth grade next year.
Yeah, and what we actually could do to piggyback on that, if we gave the students a list of a lot of different central messages, they'd have to place them on a tree map under different themes, such as respect or honesty or caring, and they'd have to put them under the larger umbrella. And then you could have them, as a step further, once they had the tree map completed, they can choose one central message under a theme, such as like treat your neighbor as yourself, or some kind of central message, and then they create a fable or short story that would lead the reader to that message or that theme. So it's kind of a backwards design.
That's great. Well, we've also been doing a lot of leadership building, and I've been working with fourth grade in that. Maybe we could have fourth graders, because third and fourth grade have literacy at the same time. Yeah. Maybe we could have some fourth grade mediators come, because it is enrichment, in case while we're teaching, while you guys are reteaching, we could have some fourth grade leaders come in and mediate that, and then
and work
they
with
would
the
love
tree map and the
work with
theme. I think that's a great idea.
All right,
I really like the idea of the tree map too, because then we can make it relevant and bring in the real world issues that are happening, and there they can research.
And a point to think with a tree map is to also consider the frame of reference, because that's another level of the critical thinking of how they know what they know. So what? We'll even add another layer.
We might be able to use all three of the frames of reference on that to dig even deeper.
And I'll be happy to write up the lesson plan and put it on Google Drive for you guys too, for the tree map and the theme, and I'll work with you to make sure I get the ideas you're thinking about.
I think we also need to pull in Merritt, our TD teacher. She has a lot of great thinking maps related to that.
I'll meet with her. I have a meeting with her tomorrow anyway, so we'll go over that together and put her on the drive.
Yeah, I know that she likes the idea of the problem-based and then going and researching, and that makes them independent thinkers.
Yeah.
Also connect TD with the regular classroom a little bit more closely, which is always our goal.
So how do you think we will know if we're successful in pushing these kids to mastery?
Well, I was just thinking I would like to create a rubric for the kids in their writing that they're going to do. Okay. Especially so that they can assess themselves on how well they address the central message in their fable, and even maybe let them share with each other, read together, and use the rubric to do some peer conferences, so that they can strengthen their understanding at the same time they get some feedback about their own writing.
Right, and teach them about feedback, because that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, especially for our kids if they don't, they're used to the mastery part.
Right. It might be even better for us to go through the process ourselves and to write backwards once given a central theme, and so we know what their expectation is, and make the rubric off of what is our exemplar.
I like
what do
that.
we want them to push them to, and then they can see the exemplar and they know what they're working towards.
So as we're kind of bringing this to a close, we'll make sure that the academic team is using this particular skill set as we're developing our weekly walkthrough, so that we make sure that we're aligned and you'll know exactly what we're looking for, and then during our next grade level planning meeting, we'll bring some data to share with all of you guys about, what steps we saw, or what we saw and what steps you might need to take next.
That's awesome. Because we don't always get to see that level of engagement either.
So just to review, we have you're going to create the rubric together now.
Yeah. Yep.
So you start with that. So that's going to get done today, and then Jill's going to write up the lesson plan. Jill, can you have that on the G Drive by Thursday?
Sure.
Okay. And then we're gonna be in your classrooms to see it and bring that data back next week.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.